Okay, good morning class. So today we're looking at the grade 10 cycle test 4. And this is from 2021 in my high school. Okay. So let's look at the first. It was for 1 hour, 50 marks. So the first question says, the question paper and memo can be found in the description box below. Okay, Michael, stop talking please if you don't mind. Please. Okay, so we are told that in 1.1, ABCD is a square. 4 quarter circles. So 4 quarter circles, if I put it together, is going to make a full circle. With center A, with centers A, B, C, and D are drawn inside the square. Determine the perimeter of the square. So, if you're looking at this information here, the square has sides 8. Okay, 8 centimeters. From there to there is 8. Okay? So the perimeter of the square is going to be 4 times side. Not so. So it's going to be 4 times 8, which is 32 centimeters. Okay. This is determine the area of the shaded region. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this circle, that semicircle, plus that semicircle, plus that semicircle, plus the semicircle. Can you see that people? Together we said it's going to make a full circle. So in other words, the shaded area is simply going to be the area of the square minus the area of the circle. For 4 quarter circles. How do you calculate the area of a square? Side times side, so it's 8 by 8, which is 64. Minus the area of a circle? Pi square. Pi radius squared. Okay. So of course that is 8 squared minus pi. Now the radius of the circle is from center to circumference. So that if that is AB is 8, then the radius of the circle has to be 4. So it's going to be 64 minus 16 pi. 13,17 centimeters. Is that correct? Okay. People number 2, we are told. Number 2, we are told that Mrs. O'Shea wants to buy some extra water storage cans for the school. 1 liter is equal to 1,000 centimeters cubed. Into 1.2.1 we are told she rather likes this rectangular one. The advertised volume is 1,200 liters. Calculate how much the tank actually holds if it's 100 centimeters. So that's going to be 100 centimeters by 77 centimeters wide and 160 centimeters high. Okay? So if it speaks about calculate how much the tank actually holds, it's talking about the volume. You all agree with that? So how do you calculate the volume of this? It's going to be length times breadth times. Okay, so the length is of course 100 times the breadth, which is 77, times the height, which is 360. So it's going to be 100 multiplied by 77 times 160. Gives you There's 1,232,000 straight. Okay. But this is centimeters cube. Not so. If 1 centimeter, 1,000 centimeters cube is going to be 1 liter. How many liters has this thing hold? So divided by 1,000. So divided by 1,000. It holds 1,000. 1,232 liters, or 1,232 kiloliters. Because that is 1,000 kiloliters in a liter. Okay, is that correct? Sorry? Yeah, 1,000 liters in a kiloliter. Did I say the other way around? Yes. Sorry about that. Rule number 2, we are told that 2 tanks combined. These 2 tanks combined holds 1,200 liters. So how much does 1 tank hold? 6,000. Not so. 600 liters. So 1 tank equal to 600 liters. How tall are they if the diameter is 80? So the diameter is going to be 80. So what's the radius here? 40. Okay. They want to know how high this thing is. Not so. So if you're looking at the volume of a cylindrical item, well, how do you calculate the volume? Pi squared, area of base times height. So the radius is 40. So it's pi times 40 squared times height is what we calculate. But what's the volume? 600. You all agree with that? So I divide both sides by pi times 40 squared. So that of course cancels. It gives me a height of, that in a calculator, 600 over pi times, pi times 40 squared. Gives you? Sorry? Yes, absolutely. That's where I'm going wrong, no? That's liters, and it's, how many liters are there in a how many centimeters cube are there in a liter? 600,000. So you multiply this by 1,000, so it's 600,000. Okay. Give me a height of 119,37. Centimeters. Alright. Is that the one you said is wrong in the memo? The next one. You all okay with this?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Yeah, this one. 2.2. 2, number 2.2. Okay. Let's carry on. In number 2.1, we are told if Lara invests 15,000 at a simple interest rate of 11 and 7/8% per annum. How much interest would she earn in 10 years' time? We want simple interest formula. Well, I could just use simple interest equal to P times R times T over 100. So it's going to be 15,000 times the rate, which is 11 and 7/8, multiplied by 10 years over 100. So that gives us 15,000 multiplied by 11 and 7 over 8 people to work to get the improper fraction. But sorry, the mixed fraction. I must first press shift and then this fraction button. You'll see the yellow. It is that mixed fraction sign. Okay. Don't press a fraction and then you press the arrow button and then you put the 11 in front of it. That means something else. Okay, that means you say 11 times 7 over 8. Okay, so that's 11 and 7 over 8 multiplied by 10 years. Gives me an answer of 17,800. Is that correct? Huh? Not the same answer. Okay, so it's 15,000 at the simple interest rate of 11 and 7 over 8% per annum. How much interest would you earn in 10 years? Simple interest. So I'm getting 17,810 rand. No, 12 rand and 50 cents. Otherwise, you can work it out using the other formula. A is equal to P into 1 plus I times N. So it's going to be P, which is 15,000, into 1 plus I, which is 11, and 7 over 8%, so it's over 100, multiplied by 10. So it's 15,000 into 1 plus the mixed fraction, whoops, shift this button, 11 and 7 over 8, and this is all over 100. Why could I have said divide by 100? Multiplied by 10 gives me 32,812 rand and 50 cents. But what is this? That's your A value, your final amount. What's the question? How much interest would you earn? So how do you work out the interest? You subtract the 2. So it's A minus P. So it's 32,812 rand and 50 cents minus 15,000 rand. Give me an answer of 17,812 rand and 50 cents. So either or, you'll get a full mark. Okay. Let's go to the next question. 2.2. Here we are told that Unele invests a certain sum of money in a bank that pays a simple interest rate. The amount grew to 240 rand at the end of 2 years. Then she waited another 3 years and got the final amount of 300 rand. Then we are told that we must calculate the principal amount that she invested at the beginning. The interest remains constant, which means to say what? Remains the same. So, because of its complexity of the sum, I would rather plot it on a number line. So, T0 is P, which is the principal. Okay, so when you invest a certain amount of money in the bank, it pays a simple interest rate. The amount grew to 2,000. So, at the end of 2 years, she has 240 rand in that account. Not so. Then, at the end of she waited another 3 years. So that is T what? T5. Then she has 300 then. Not so. What is the principal amount? Okay, so from here to there, what can we calculate? Your interest. Not so. So we started off with 240. So if I consider this part here, then my principal is going to be 240 rand. My A value is 300 rand. I'm calculating I or R, and this is for how many years? 3 years. Okay. So the simple interest formula, A is equal to P into 1 plus I times E. So A value 300 equals 240 into 1 plus I times 3. So I divide both sides by 240. Alright, so that cancels. So it's going to be 300 over 240, 5 over 4. So it's 5 over 4 minus 1. Then I divide it by 3. So that's your I. Not so, but I want the rate. So I times it by 100. So it's 5 over 4 minus 1 divided by 3. So the interest rate is 0,0833, which is 8.3%. Not so. The rate is 8.33%. So now we will consider this part now. Now we're working from the here. Okay. My P value is unknown, and that's what I need to calculate. What's my A value here from there to there? 240. What is my I value now? My R value? 8.3%. Okay. In how many years is that for?
2 years.
Okay. So again, my formula A is equal to P into 1 plus I times N. The A value, of course, is 240 Rand, is equal to P, which is what I'm calculating, into 1 plus I, which is 0,0833 times 2 years. So to get P on its own, I'm going to divide both sides by 1 plus 0,0833 times 2. 1 plus 0,0. So it's going to be 240 over 1 plus 0,0833 times 2. Of course that cancels, so P is equal to. It's 240 over 1 plus, that answer is the last answer calculated, times 2. 205 Rand and 71 cents. That's what you guys got?
Yes.
205 Rand and 71 cents. Where did I go wrong? Huh? Oh, you use 5. Okay. So she told me my answer is wrong in the memo and I got a shock. No? And I couldn't sleep all weekend. I just couldn't remember what summit said it was. Okay, and I was going to work out the whole paper again. Okay. You understand? Alright, let's go to the next one. 2.3. So here we are told that 5,000 Rand is deposited into a savings account. The money doubles over. The money doubles, what happens? That's going to be how much in the account at this point? 10,000 Rand. Or 2 times 5,000. It was double, no? Over a period of 8 years, so N is 8. Calculate the annual interest rate at which you will, which this would happen if the interest is compounded annually. 10,000. Sorry about that. Did I say 1,000 earlier? Or did I say 10,000? Sorry about that. Was Hendrix? You're right, my girl. Let's take note of what's happening here. Alright, so the formula A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the exponent. What's the A value? 10,000 equals P 5,000 into 1 plus I unknown to the exponent So where do we start? We divide by 5,000 first. What is 10,000 divided by 5,000? 2. So it's going to be 2 is equal to 1 plus I to the 8. Not so. What do I do then? 8th root. So 8th root of 2 is equal to 1 plus I. Then what do I do with the 1? Minus 1 is equal to I. That answer then multiplied by 100. So 8. 2 minus 1. Then multiply this by 100. So it's 9,05%. Okay, any confusion there, people? Why are you not marking your work, Lisa Kanya? You got all the sums right. Did you even do the homework? You did the homework. Now why are you not doing corrective work? How much I now feel? Huh? People, let's do 2.4. Question 2.4. 25,000 Rand is deposited into a savings account. Timeline question. 25,000 Rand is deposited into a savings account. The interest rate for the first 4 years, T4, is 7% per annum compounded yearly. Thereafter, the interest rate changed to 8% per annum compounded yearly. That's 8% per annum compounded yearly. Okay. Okay. Calculate the value of the investment at the end of 10 years. That takes you to T10. Alright, so what you can do, people, is you can work 25,000 Rand till that point and use that as your p-value and then work it to the end. Or you just do the state calculation, and that is the method we have been following now already. So A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the exponent n. So what happens to 25,000 Rand? It's going to draw an interest for 4 years at 7%. Not so. Then what happens? It draws another interest at 8% for 6 years. Okay. But as I indicated before, you can break it up and work it out the way you want. But I just find this to be the easiest. So it's 25,000 into 1 plus 0,07 to the exponent for 1 plus 0,08 to the exponent 6. 52,000 and 1 Rand and 71 cents. Okay, is there any confusion here?
So you got the 5 marks?
Sorry?
You got the 5 marks?
Yeah.
So what if you didn't do the time?
And you broke it up?
Like you didn't do the time?
There's no marks for the time. Otherwise, if the question says construct a timeline or whatever, then you need to construct it. But as long as the question doesn't specify, you don't have to write the timeline. Okay. Any other questions? Alright. The looks of it, there's 4 of you that are ready for the test, the rest of you not even taking note. The cursor invests on X Rand into a fixed deposit which pays an interest at 10% per annum compounded annually. Another timeline question. Not so? It's actually a beautiful question for your exam, but the exam is separate. Cursor invests RX Rand, so it's X there. The fixed deposit which pays an interest rate of 10% per annum compounded annually. So the interest rate is a flat rate of 10% compounded annually. After 3 years, she withdraws half the money. That takes you to T3. She withdraws half the money in the account. So whatever the account has, she takes half out. Okay? She leaves the remaining money in the account for a further 2 years. So this takes you to T1. at which she has, and there is 15,000 rand in the account. Calculate the value of X. Okay. Beautiful question. No? Then again, all the sums are beautiful. No? Right, so let's see what happens to X. What happens to X first? Is it to draw an interest for? 3 years. So I'm going to use the formula A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the exponent in Y. Because they said it was compounding. Right. So what happens to P, which is X? It's 1 plus 0 comma 1 to the exponent 3. Then what happens at that point? They're taking half the money out. Not so. So what must I do? I must divide this by 2. Or I can multiply it by half. You see that? So what happens now? This amount, this P value there, throws an interest for another 2 years. You see that, people? So the interest factor now of 1 plus 0 comma 1 to the exponent. And then what are they left with? What's it equal to? 15,000. Easy does it. No? So what do I do first in pursuit of solving for X? Not divide. How can they divide by 2 if I'm dividing by 2? Multiply it by 2. What kind of girl are you then? So multiply throughout by 2. 15,000 times 2 is of course 30,000. Equals, of course that cancels and that's what I want. X into 1 plus 0.1 to the exponent 3 times 0. 1 plus 0.1 to the exponent. How do I get X on its own? Divide both sides by what? 1 plus 0 comma 1 to the exponent 5. Yes, it's multiplying it by the same, I add the exponents. That's all. So therefore, X is equal to 30,000 over 1.1 to the exponent 5. Gives us 18,627 rand. 18,627 rand and 64 cents. Is that correct according to the memo? Yeah. What's wrong? Who got the sum right? You got it? Nice, well done. Zoe, did you do the sum? Huh? Okay, so I got your name wrong, so you don't have to do my homework. Okay, nice. You get the sum right or wrong? Zia. Okay. Right. Guys, let's practice a lot for this exam, for the cycle test. The sounds of it, all you're doing is watching cricket and rugby. Right, people. One card is drawn from a pack of cards. How many cards is a pack of cards have? 52. There are 4 suits, no? Hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades. Okay. What's the probability that the card is an ace? How many aces are there? 4. So it's going to be 4 out of 52, which is 1 out of 30. Right, you all understand?
Yes, sir.
Alright, go for it. Ask if she's okay. He's getting her best sleep ever in now. No? I like it. Stretch here, stretch. What's your name? Huh? Nina. Okay, I remember when I mark your paper. Okay. This was boring for you, no? Okay. What's the probability a card is an ace and a spade? So how many aces and spades are there? There's one ace of spades. So the probability is 1 out of 52. Number 3. Are the events drawing an ace and drawing a spade mutually exclusive? No. Why? Because the probability of the spade intersection ace is not equal to 0. Can you see here? This was the probability of spade intersection ace. Can you see that?
Yes.
The only time that it will be mutually exclusive is when the intersection is there. The intersection is nothing. Okay, there's no intersection. Next question. 3.2. A survey was done at a small school, and the data was analyzed to determine how many pupils would choose French and life science as subjects. So 96 people were part of the survey. So what does that mean? The sample space, of course, is 96. So the subjects on offer here are French and life science. 32 chose French. So I can't put 32 here because it doesn't say 32 chose French only. So that 33 is actually made up of that and this here. Can you see that, people? 70 chose life science. So that's 70. 4 decided they did not want either subject. This is outside. Not so. Let the number of pupils who chose both subjects be X. So how many of these people did French only? 33 minus X. How many of them does life science only? 17 minus X. So that is in terms of X. Your Venn diagram represents the above information in the Venn diagram. The next question says, calculate how many pupils chose life science as well as French. In other words, what are we calculating here? We're calculating X. Okay. So what do we know? We know that this here, which is 33 plus 70 minus X, plus 4 equals 96. Or I could have said 33 minus X plus 70 minus X plus 4 is equal to 96. The same thing. Okay. Right? You guys understand? So we will say 96 minus 33 minus 70 minus 4 gives us negative 11. So negative X is equal to negative 11. Therefore X is equal to 11. So this of course going to be 11, 22. What's 70 minus 11? 59. Okay, I would have normally redrawn it if needed. Okay. Number 3. What's the probability that a pupil chosen at random chooses French and not life science? So how many chose French and not life science? 22. Can you see that, people? So the probability is going to be 22 over 96. So 22 over 96. 11 over 48. or I could have written it as 0,229 or 0,23, or you times it by 100, which gives us 22,92%. All of that is acceptable solutions. Okay. Any confusion there? Let's go to the next one. A smoke detector system in a large warehouse uses two devices, A and B. If smoke is present, the probability that it will be detected by device A is 0,95. Okay, so let's go with the device A being your first event. Okay. So if it's detected by A, it's 0,95. What's the probability that it's not detected by 0,05? Why? Because together it must add up to 1. Okay. The probability that it will be detected by device B is 0,98. So detected by B and not by B. So 0,98. And what is the probability that is not detected? 0,02. Okay? So if it's not detected, the probability of B and not B, of course, is still 0,98, 0,02. The probability that it will be detected by both devices simultaneously is 0,094. 0,94. What's the probability that the smoke will not be detected? So in other words, for it not to be detected, it's going to follow that branch thing. Not so. It's not going to be detected by device A and device B. Okay. In other words, that would simply be probability of not being detected by A intersection not B, or not detected by B. So that will be 0,05 multiplied by 0,02. The 0,05 multiplied by 0,02 gives us an answer of 0,001. That's one way of doing it. Okay. Otherwise, we know that not detected is also the complement of being detected. So it's 1 minus the probability of A or B. Okay. But we know that the probability of A union B or A or B is going to be 0,95 plus the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A intersection B. This is the identity, the basic identity for your probability formula. So probability is 0,95 for B, 0,98 minus A and B. The probability that both is detected 0,98. No, 0,94. Okay, which is 0,95 plus 0.98 minus 0.94. Okay, so that's 99 over 100. So as we said, the complement thereof it would be 1 minus 99 over 100, which is 1 over 100, or 0.01. Okay. Either or will get you the full 3 marks there. Okay. People, the last question, the bonus question for this year was? The variables A, B, C, D, and E are represented by the numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. In some order, if A squared plus B squared plus C squared is equal to D squared plus E squared, what's the value of A plus B plus C? So this is just a matter of arranging it. Okay? So, what's the answer they have there? Sorry? Check there what they have, and then we can make sense of what they have. So I'm not going to use all the values and check now all the time.
So it's 2 plus
2 plus?
2 plus 4 plus 5.
2 plus 4 plus 5. Okay. So if A is 2, so it's 2 squared plus 4 squared plus 5 squared. So that is going to be 4 plus 16 plus 25 plus 20 is 45. Okay, so the other side will also be 4. So I've used 2, I've used 4 and 5. So it's going to be 3 squared plus 6 squared. 3 squared is 9, 6 squared is 36, gives you 45. So 2 plus 4 plus 5 is going to give you 6. The answer that you're looking for is 0. Okay. But how are you supposed to have done this? What you do is, you choose values for A, B, C. Okay. So let's say it's 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. If you chose A, B, C to be that value. Okay. It's going to be 2 squared plus 2 squared plus 3, 2 squared plus 3 squared plus 4 squared. Should be equal to 5 squared plus 6 squared. So that's going to give you 4, 9, 16, that's 25 and 36. 25 is going to give you 51. And of course that is not close to that, 25, 29. Can you see that? So what you need to do is you need to rearrange. So you must take a bigger number over and bring us one number over like that. Until you get the equation to balance, and under the condition where it's 2 squared plus 4 squared plus 5 squared will then be 3 squared plus equal to 3 squared plus 6 squared. Okay, that's how we basically get that answer. Okay, but this is by trial and error. Okay. Then I also gave you this paper here to do, not so. Did I give you the 2022 paper as well? Huh? Did you have to do both for today? No. Okay, so this paper is for tomorrow. Okay, you guys can start with it now. The paper and memo can be found in the description box below. Okay.